Which question are you struggling with? And don't worry, I mean, we're discussing this. Okay, so it's naked. To just go through it, Megs, you weren't here, but who wasn't here? Sorry, someone said they weren't here. Okay, Jesse, you said you weren't here. Just remember my discussion around this. I know it's only 10 marks, but 10 marks is the difference between 70 and 80, and the difference between 65 and 75. And we know that 75 is the first class pass. I also note that the importance of checking these rubrics, and you should actually go through each of these rubrics and do the checkbox exercise. Can I also just see, has everyone got to the point that you do not submit anything without doing a editor or using the editor function within Word? Does everyone use the editor function before submitting anything in Word? Do people do that by default? It's very quiet the other side. Do you guys do that by default? Don't let me call out your names individually. Jesse, do you do that? Who else has joined us? You don't know it. That's fine. I just need to get a sense. Misha, how are you? Jess, do you use it? Megan, do you use it? You also don't know it. At least Megan uses it. Hi, Meg. Yeah, I'm very good. Misha, how are you? Misha, were you here last week? No, don't worry. Honestly, I also do full-time lectures. Stuff happens. I don't really care if people are late. I don't mind at all. People can pop in whenever they want. So just to show you, and I'm glad that somebody is using this, you need to default. And I think at this stage, I'm not going to accept any document that people haven't done this for. Is that a fair comment from my side? If you haven't edited, then I'm going to have the heebie-jeebies. I think at this stage, it's not 1923, it's 2023, and I think we shouldn't be messing around by not using the technology that are available. This is somebody else's notes that was given to me. It was given to me a couple of years ago. So you'll see, I don't think I've done an editor function. So here you are in a home page, and in the home page you have that there. I hope I didn't do a correction in these. Okay, so it'll go through. It'll give you an editor score. So it's picked up 25 spelling mistakes, but remember, you can't just accept all of them because some of them might be authors. So if you go through that, okay, it's obvious that those aren't going to be there. So you'll just go ignore all. I'm going to, oh, it's not showing you, stupid human being. Sorry, I'm talking to myself there, guys. It's an old age thing. Let me just stop sharing that now. So it should be there in a second. So let's start that again. So you are in the home page in Word. The editor function is there. Let me close that off. In the home page, in the home tab, sorry, and there you are, editor function. So it starts off, it gives me 97%. It is quite a large document, yeah, 62 pages. So you click on spelling there. Now remember, you are still ultimately in charge of this. Right, so Manimela, it is a surname of an author, so you're just going to go ignore all. I can't pronounce that, ignore all, and you'll do that. I mean, obviously that's a publisher, just ignore all. Ignore all, ignore all. That's standard practice. You will ignore that as well. Okay, now mandatorism. Now we know that in labor relations, those of you that did INRL 6221 or 6211, who did, you would have all done INRL 6211, is that correct? INRL, industrial relations, labor relations. James, did you guys not do industrial relations? Okay, I just assumed you did. Oh, Michelle, not yet. Okay, only next semester. Okay, Megan. Right. So we've picked this up now as a term. So we're there. Now there should be a resume here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what we would do, because we want to keep this in our dictionary for future reference, because we will use that, you would simply just add that to your dictionary. So pages is slightly messy. So you would simply just go and do that and and it should be PP. The same with Department of Labor, but I don't want to because it's too obvious. I would just ignore all and you would do that. Now, I don't know what that is. It must be pages. It should actually be PP dot. And if you don't like it, you would simply just go there and you would go PP dot and so forth. And you work through all of that and then you go fix the grammar. Yeah, so there is the hyphen missing there. And then the risks. Okay, so we need to fix this. So, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? The risks are high, it should fix it automatically. And then you would do that in your document throughout. And you'll see at the end, you'll get to 100%. Just remember, it's those options. And you'll work through each of these and make sure that you get to 100%. Is everyone okay with that? Michelle, people that haven't used it yet? James, you okay with that, boy? Can we make it non-negotiable that you don't submit anything unless it's been done and edited like that? I think do yourselves a favor and edit all your documents that you submit. It really is silly not to edit your documents because I find it incredibly tedious to constantly have to look at spelling mistakes, and it's such obvious things to pick up. And if you don't like some of the suggestions, you just skip it, ignore it. You simply ignore it. Is that a deal for my course going forward? If I see you in second semester for 7322, we'll make sure that we do that again and we keep doing the editor function. Everyone okay with that as a sort of general rule for the class? Okay, I quite like that. Okay, fantastic, everyone. Fantastic. I'm Henny, Misha. Don't worry about the sir thing. I really don't care about the sir rubbish. Okay. It's very difficult, I know, because it's difficult not to call me sir. Okay, yeah. So we looked at this, and I think we picked up some spelling errors. I think, yeah, I do recall that actually. So let's have a glance at the. Misha, are you on the WhatsApp group? Okay, fantastic news. Fantastic news. Let's just share the assignment again. Right. So, James, tell me where you were struggling, Boya.
To be honest, I was struggling to understand the visualize the concept of the inside out and outside in.
Okay.
So I wrote about the theory of it, but I can't figure out how to write more on it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So if we look at the rubric very quickly, so first of all, does everyone understand the inside out and the outside in approach? So remember what we said, the inside out approach is based on the resource-based view. The resource-based view comes from the notion, and it comes from the definition of competitive advantage that says that it's about being the most competitive organization in an industry. So competitive advantage comes from all the resources that you have. It comes from your human resources, it comes from your technologies, it comes from your access to raw materials, and it comes from your capabilities as well. And those capabilities, obviously, the ways that we integrate those resources. And we see companies that can work on the basis of inside out, and certainly the reality is that Google often will create products around their algorithms, around their amazing ability to attract really bright individuals to their organization, because for many years they were employer of choice. So are you looking now to find examples from here in the text, or can you find examples in the text? James? Okay. And then outside in, and remember what they then do is they stretch those internal resources to impress their customers. The outside in perspective is about tracking the external environment, in particular, tracking your customers in terms of their wants, their needs, their desires. It's that being beyond close to your customer. It's that idea that your customer needs drives everything that we do in the organization. And by those needs driving the processes in the organization, we are constantly adjusting in line and getting the resources into the organization. So the focus is really about our customers. So everything is about impressing the customers by knowing what the customers want. The truth is, no organization is purely focused on one or the other. It really is more about the fact that you're a combination, and that you might be more of one and more of the other, but you're a combination of the two. And I might have asked you this question last week. Who has ever seen an app that created a need? You never knew you had a need for a particular app, but when you saw the app, you knew this is going to change your life. What app did that for you? Is there an app that did that for you, that changed your life based on the sort of thing it addressed in your life? An app on your phone, something you would have never thought of as a need, and it just blew you away the first time you used it. WhatsApp, Megan, how has WhatsApp changed your life? Samsung Health, yes, absolutely. Samsung Health, absolutely 100% true. If I could only live by Samsung Health. If I could only live by Samsung Health. What others? There are also gimmicky apps, let's be honest, called Calm. What do, Nisha? Is it do what's implied in the name? Calm. I like that, because I have difficulty to stay calm. I have adult ADHD, so it's very difficult to remain calm. What does the Calm app do? Please talk, guys. You can activate your mics. Misha, explain to us what Calm does.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so
what does Calm do?
The Calm app's a really nice app. So it's got a bunch of meditations, breath work, a lot of actually helpful things
Okay.
for mental health. Things like it's got
Oh
a
my
built-in
word.
gratitude journal, affirmations. It's got a lot just to do with motivation,
So you do
improving.
yoga and those kinds of things as well?
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy the app for those reasons, like the meditations, the mental health aspect. It's really cool.
Oh, Misha, that sounds phenomenal. That sounds absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
really
it's
good.
not something you would have thought of, I need that. It just created a need.
No, since COVID, I got it obviously because COVID was really hard for everyone and just
Yeah,
staying at
yeah.
home and being stuck in your own head. So yeah, ever since COVID, I got it, and it's really I love it.
Astonishing. Well, but you see, and
Yeah,
that to me is a sign of an inside out organization. It just an organization that uses its own capabilities. Oh, fantastic. Very, very nice example.
yeah.
There's so
Okay,
many other
thank you.
apps that do that. Thanks, Say. Thank you so much. So the reality is you can never be one or the other. You'll always be be both. But you can't go and just create gimmicks. Give me examples of gimmicky apps that you've downloaded and you regretted instantaneously. It was just a load of nonsense. Because if you look at the App Store, there is so much rubbish on there. And that would be organizations that have used the inside out approach and really just gone beyond what is necessary and really messed up quite badly. So I don't know how much quickly find it is on the slides in terms of that. What pages did we say it was in the textbook? 25 to 29. James, could you find anything in terms of your searching for peer-reviewed articles on the inside out and the outside in approach?
I used one that you went to in the last lecture.
Oh, did I go?
But
Sorry, my brain, honestly, when I leave here, my brain wipes clear. So we
yeah,
found something.
I
Okay, did I
struggled
share it
to.
on here?
I, I
Okay.
think so, but I
Yeah.
struggled to reference it because I'm not used to the peer review article, and I'm used to the word referencing tool.
Are you not used to the word referencing tool?
No, I'm used to that, but I'm not sure how to. I was having trouble referencing it because it's
Okay.
a journal in a website, if that makes sense.
Okay. Let me quickly
So
show you how to do that. Just remember, for those of you that weren't here, please stop using manual referencing. Please do yourself a favor, start using some form of electronic referencing. The ideal would be to use something like Mendeley. Did I upload the How to Use Mendeley app onto the group? I must not have done that. Or you can just use the electronic referencing in Word. Which electronic referencing do you guys use? Those of you that use electronic referencing? I'm just going to stop sharing that up quickly. I'm going to share Word again. Who still references manually? I'll look now. Sorry, I've got something else open and my focus is not on your chats. Oh my word! Sometimes guilty. You use Sight. Very cool, Misha. Very, very cool. Does anyone use Mandalay? Jesse, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be referencing electronically. Is it not available? I don't have my phone here. Can I quickly go get my phone and I'll quickly upload another option onto. I'm going to shout at my kids, so I'm just going to mute here. Okay, let me quickly I'll share the Mendeley app with you guys, and I'll quickly show you how to do that in Word. Gosh, guys, what are we called on WhatsApp? Okay, let me find my honors second year, because one of my students put this together. She in her video, or in her presentation, I don't know how she's done it. She says you have to download the document. You don't have to download the document. Let me see which one this is. Okay, give me a second and I'll share this with you guys. I should be more organized. Your other lecturers, your other tutors would have done this better. Okay, how to Mendeley. James, what did we call this group?
It
What is
was
this?
named at BMNG7321, or you can search Business Management 3A.
BMNG. What did you call it though? 7321.
1.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you are. Well, you have no imagination. Should have called it the Flying Wombats or something. Okay, there it is. You can have a glance at that. So that's one option. Mendeley is far more powerful. Mendeley is far more powerful than Word, but it will take you a bit of time to get used to. Jesse, it's not 1923, it's 2023. Get out of the dark ages. Do you want me to be a bully and say that I won't accept any assignment that's not electronically referenced? That will. You want me to be a bully, Jess? The only way you'll get it done, think of it. The silence is deafening. Okay, Jesse, talk to me. Am I being a bully? Okay, I want everything electronically referenced. So if it's not edited, I'm going to be grim. And if it's not electronically referenced, I'm going to be grim. And I'm going to be nasty. I'm going to take marks off. Is that fair? And I'm going to do it because I'm going to drink when I mark your submission. And I'm going to drink alcohol. It makes me agitated. Okay, so if gosh, I'm being recorded here, guys. So if you want extra marks, just play this recording to whoever you think can force me to do things that I don't want to do. There are not many people that can do that, to be honest with you. Right, so if we look at insert, add new source, so you know that, boy. I'm assuming, okay, it's a little bit slow. You go there and you go journal article, and you would put in there. So it should have all of those in there. If you use all of those, it doesn't give you all the options, because alternatively, you could simply show all the bibliography fields, and you can just add some of the others in. So you can show day, year, month, and day accessed, and you can even put in the URL. Does it make sense, James? So you can just simply open up the rest.
Yes, I didn't know about that. That helps a lot.
Okay, but generally, you should be able to do that. It should give you enough if you just go to journal article. Should be able to do enough. If you are using Word, stay with Word. If you know Cite, Mendeley will make sense, Misha, but it might take a bit of adjusting too. But please, guys, do yourselves a favor and get to a point. If you are going to do honors beyond this, or even if you move on to masters, doing things manually is ridiculous. I said, in terms of my last bit of study, I think my reference list was something like 70 pages. and trust me, you do not want to manually reference. And if you use electronic referencing, your table of not your table of contents, your bibliography happens with a simple press of the button, and it tells you. It might not. Hold on a second, and you just do that tops, and your bibliography happens. Only if you've populated the fields in the correct order. It literally is a click of the button for your bibliography to happen. Right. Let me, mind you, I don't mind spending time on things that are bloody important. Okay. So let's go back to the assignment. In fact, let's quickly look at the slides. Right. So in terms of the inside out perspective, we spoke about how we create strategies around our resources. We spoke about Google, who has this phenomenal set of algorithms, this phenomenal set of hardware and software, and also the idea that Google has a value that says we eat our own dog food. No problem. Who is that? Let me just go see. Oh, Misha, that's fine. Enjoy your evening. Absolutely no apologies required. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will discuss the rest of the assignment just now. So it is about focusing. Cheers, Abe. It is about focusing on those resources and then integrating those resources through your capabilities. We also spoke about how dynamic capabilities is that ability to refresh and constantly stay relevant in terms of the bigger picture. So it is based, as I said, on the resource-based view, and it is about the uniqueness of your resources. And somehow we build sustainability into that because we create value by ensuring that we not only use our resources, we do the triple bottom line stuff. So we look at social community type issues, but we also look at the natural environment. So the triple bottom line, and you should remember that, and we will look at the triple bottom line a bit later, is based on the idea that we cannot simply, when we do our financial reporting, boast about how profitable we are. We need to relook at what the definition of competitive advantage is, and the current definition of competitive advantage is about creating wealth. This was more about being the most profitable organization in the industry. So this was more about doing things in order to ensure sustainability, but also it was really about profit. So we create these value creating strategies, and it is so unique because you base it on the special stuff you have inside the organization, and all of these essentially refer to what makes Google fantastic. Who has Bing on their PC or their laptop? Who has Bing? Who knows what Bing is? B-I-N-G. Okay, what do you use Bing for, James?
I've used it before when Google search results weren't like finding what I was looking for. So then I'd use Bing.
You know what? You know what I use Bing for? To search for Google so that I can use Google to search. Who else does that? When Bing opens, they search for Google so that they can search on Google. Yeah, obviously my default search is always going to be Chrome, but I've I've got the other one loaded. But that's everyone's reality. And why? And if we use Bing, are we Binging or are we Googling in Bing? When we're in Bing searching, are we Binging or are we Googling in Bing? The truth is, if we're in Bing and searching, we're Googling in Bing, because Google appears in the dictionary. I'm bloody sure Bing doesn't appear in the dictionary. So when we look at the inside out perspective, there are a number of things we need to remember. It is based around the ability to constantly refresh the organization, and we then stretch our resources. So internally, it is about synergy. Can someone define synergy for me, please? What is synergy? What is synergy? Guys, are you telling me we've been going for 41 minutes already? What the flying feathers is happening to time today? What is synergy? Come on, what is synergy? If you can't tell me what synergy is, I'm going to write to Varsity College and demand that you guys be given back your fees. Or I'm going to point at you and start laughing. Oh my gosh, what is synergy? I'm going to start calling you names like I'm being recorded, so I can't be too rude. It's when the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Combined action, it is when the whole, W-H-O-L-E, not hole in the ground, it is when the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So it means, and I know that some of you can do math, but I think you're really here because you can't do math, but it means 1 + 1 = 3. Does that make any sense? 1 + 1 = 3. Don't worry, I can't do math either. Henny is rude. He says we can't do math. Is it true that you guys can't do math? Does 1 + 1 = 3 make sense in terms of my statement, the whole being greater than the sum of its parts? And that's what synergy is. We see synergy in the Australian cricket team, the Australian women's cricket team. My apologies. We see synergy in the American female football team. Give me other examples of synergy where organizations just get it right all the time, where sports teams just are unbeatable, are invincible. It's the Australian swim team. It's the New Zealand netball team. At the moment, it's the Irish rugby. No, yeah, not at the moment. It's the Irish rugby team, unfortunately, at the moment, Michelle. But yeah, we have hope. Absolutely before. It was like 16 men playing at the same time. No, it's true, Michelle. We are the world champions, though. It is a good answer. So we see examples of that. Does anyone watch Formula One? Sorry, my voice is going. This is what the 9th hour of lectures. It's what Red Bull is at the moment. They are simply unbeatable. It's what synergy is in terms of Red Bull. You all have homework this weekend. You have to watch. No, it's not on this weekend. So the next Formula One Grand Prix, you have to watch. That is compulsory. No, I like the word mandatory. So, and then externally, it's in the value chain. What is an organization's value chain? The value chain, do you guys remember what the value chain is? Remember, it's, oh my goodness me, it's outside the organization. It's the efficiency of how our, sorry, my son just brought me water. I'll have to edit this out so I sound slick and organized. Is everyone okay to stay a few more seconds tonight? A few more minutes? Or have you got another class at 7:30? No, yeah, at 7:30. All fine. Okay, thanks, Jesse. I'll give you guys a little bit extra. I'll give extra time. So when we think of the value chain, I just need to stop sharing this. There has to be a better way of sharing things on here. Share the whiteboard. Guys, you're supposed to interact with me. I get rated on you interacting with me, and I'm working so hard here, and you guys are so quiet there. Right, so what the value chain is, and I'm going to do a very, very, very cursory discussion of it, obviously. But when we look at an organization in general, and if this is the organization, and if we place the intermediaries over there, and we place the customers over there, and we place the suppliers over there, oh, what a great S. And then the organization is there. So the suppliers, we know that we don't really get manufacturers anymore. We only get assemblers. So a company like Volkswagen isn't a manufacturer, they're simply an assembler. Because all they do is they Lego block together things that are manufactured elsewhere, components that are manufactured elsewhere. When we think of Dell computers, Dell isn't a manufacturer, they're an assembler. So most of your big brands don't manufacture anything. They mostly assemble. So we don't get manufacturers, although we talk about Ford as a manufacturer. The truth is they simply assemble. So the suppliers will manufacture the components. These components will arrive at the organization. Now we also know in terms of efficiency, most organizations use a JIT, just-in-time system. What is a just-in-time system? What is a just-in-time system? This you have to know. You have done this before because it's in first year. What is a just-in-time system? Order as needed. And what are the advantages and the benefits of a just-in-time system? What is the key advantage of a just-in-time system? Yeah, no overstocking or understocking. Things arrive when you need it. And it really is, when a production run starts, it is like a military operation because everything arrives at the moment the production run starts. It really is like a military operation when the suppliers arrive. So you don't have over understocking, you don't sit with warehouses full of nonsense, you don't have obsolescence. Nice answer, guys, really, really well done. So we get our inputs there, then the process of transformation starts. Now, one of the things that really successful organizations do is at each point in the transformation process, really, and this is now just drawing a traditional production line. At each point in the transformation process, we add value at a certain cost. Really, oh, that's not a good minus. Really successful organizations add significantly more value than the cost at that point, which means it's efficient. So really successful organizations are highly efficient. What is efficiency? Give me a definition of efficiency versus effectiveness if we're going to do that. You don't have to type, guys. You're most welcome to talk. What is effective? What is efficient? Remember, effectiveness is how well we build something. Efficiency has to do with the amount of resources we use while building that thing. So if there's a fly against the wall, I'm efficient when I walk up to it and I smack it with a fly swatter. But if I take an AK-47 and I shoot the living daylights out of it, I'm being effective, but I'm being heck of a inefficient because bullets to an AK-47 is very expensive. So at each point in this transformation, the same process happens. We add value to the product at a certain cost, and we measure how much value we add and what the cost is. And again, we carry on with that throughout. And then here, we then have distribution. So in terms of our distribution, we want to do that very quickly because as much as we don't like the idea with stuff sitting in factories over there, we don't want to have stuff sitting in warehouses. One of the things that I'd like you guys to watch is James May building minis. James May building minis on YouTube, just to show you how incredibly efficient it's become to build cars nowadays. The video is a couple of years old now. He's brilliant. James May is absolutely astonishingly funny. He has a phenomenally dry sense of humor. Him and I have something else in common. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but he is phenomenally funny. Please watch the making minis or building minis. But what I want you to watch is how quickly after that mini runs off the production line, it gets to the showrooms, how quickly they get rid of it. It is a complete military operation. And once the production line is full, a mini runs off that production line in about a minute per mini. A Mini Cooper, you know what a Mini is. It's owned by BMW. A Mini comes off the production line in the UK every 1 minute, give or take. 1 minute, guys, a Mini leaves the production line. A new Mini leaves the production line. Does anyone own a Mini? A new Mini? Who would like to own a new Mini? The rule about new Minis is only really attractive women drive it. It comes with a contract that says you can't sell it to any ugly, unattractive people. So, who owns a Mini? Do you own a Mini, Michelle? Did you read the contract? Oh, no, come on, Jess. I think you need a Mini, man. What do you drive, Jessie? And RX-12, not bad. I think they had the same contract with I-20s. You're not a fan. Oh, shucks. What do you drive, Michelle? Megan, what do you drive? Megan drives a Mini. I bet you Megan drives a Mini. And a Maze. Oh, a Honda person. Okay. Megan, what do you drive? Oh, did Megan leave us as well? Oh my gosh, people hate me. They leave me. I'm about to slit my wrists. Okay. Let me stop sharing that. Let me stop sharing that and then just start sharing this again. Okay, and then, yeah, you'll see the rest. And we spoke about dynamic capabilities. It is that ability to reinvent yourself all the time. Okay, no problem, Michelle, no problem whatsoever. James, I don't know if that helps any in terms of the inside-out perspective. There are a lot of things here to write about, Boya. Does that make more sense? And then the outside-in perspective, and then the outside-in perspective, where is that? Did I now miss that? There's the outside-in perspective. As I said, it's a market-driven strategy. So it really is about the focus on the customer and the customer needs, wants, and desires. And the reality is that there are lots of organizations that work from the customer's perspective. So it's about being concerned about the macro environment, but in particular about the industry environment. So, and everyone knows about the market environment now, the idea of your customers and your competitors and your suppliers and the labor and your intermediaries. So the focus is around that all the time. And what we then do, yes. The slides, I'm not allowed to share the slides. I'm not allowed to share slides whatsoever, Jesse. Someone uploaded them, I see. I'm not allowed to share slides at all. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, I'm supposed to say, I'm not allowed to upload shares. I'm not going to spin other people's decisions. Yeah, I'm not allowed to upload slides. So, yeah, so the outside-in perspective, you'll see that it is a clear understanding of the competitive industry. It's a clear understanding of the opportunities out there. But what you do is when you know what the realities of the market and the industry are, you then adjust your resources and you then reinvent yourself all the time. So it's that freshness to the organization, that the freshness is based on the realities of what your customers want. The one thing that doesn't happen when you adopt the outside-in perspective is that you never create gimmicks that other people don't want or your customers don't want. Just remember, though, there is no organization that's pure inside out or outside in. You might be more of one than the other, but you're a combination. There's always going to be an element of both of those strategies, perspectives in an organization. So what you do is that idea of strategic fit. So you have a point in time where you perfectly match the realities of the external environment. And then you find the industry, you fit into that industry, and you make sure that you create the kind of strategies that will keep those customers that you have, that will track and understand and impress and meet the needs that you've identified. And remember, we spoke about being beyond close to your customer. And it gives you those above average returns because you're able to constantly get the resources based on customer needs, and you're able to reinvent yourself constantly around what your customers tell you and what you figure out your customers' desires are. And we know now that our phones listen to us. We know that we have AIs that track our search histories. We know that I mean, the reality is companies know so much about us. It is actually quite scary how much they know about us. Okay, James, I hope that helped with that one. Any questions, Jesse, James? Oh my word, there was an outlaw called Jesse James. And I'm sorry, where my mind goes. Okay, James. I'm sure that's better. So let's share the assignment again. Right, so we have that one. So first of all, the introduction. Remember to tick these off as you do this, and then distinguish. So here we worry about our resources and stretching those resources there. Here we worry about our resources and stretching those resources. There we worry about our customers and then making sure our resources, or we get the resources to meet our customer needs. Is it inside out or outside in? I will accept whatever you write as long as you're able to motivate the right one. And then obviously you have to make recommendations in order to link better to the market that Naked has. I think we said that they are more likely to be an outside-in type organization, but you have to go show me evidence. At this level, at a third-year level, it's about integrating your theory with your application. There should be no headache with that, Boyo. There should be no headache with that, Jess. And remember the mark allocation. Please do me a favor. I use this as my rubric. Please make sure that you've attended to each of those. And please make sure that you give me the theory, but also where necessary, you integrate it with examples from the text. It is that balance at a third-year level of theory and application. And here, this is your own opinion. This is your own opinion based on what you've seen already. Please also remember to use peer-reviewed sources. You cannot use things like Indeed and Business Balls and other rubbish things like that. Okay. And there your application. Please tick everything that is there. The mission, James, have you got to do that yet? Jesse, have you started? I don't know what you said when I asked the question.
I haven't got to question 2 yet. No.
Okay. Okay. So it's pages 85 to 87. And it's pages 85 to 87. Yeah. And then in terms of the discussion, when you guys watch the recording, it would be slides 14 to 17, Learning Unit 3. Again, I'm going to have to stop sharing again. There's no dramas in terms of this question. So Learning Unit 3 takes a bit of time to shift between screens. Hold on a second. I'll go through this fairly quickly. Right. So 14 to 17, 85 to 87. So the different elements of the question. So the first element, the purpose of a mission statement, and then we talk about the various questions and then changes that they can make. I ask that you guys look at doing this in table form, and then you have to write a mission statement of your own. So when we look at the purpose, it really is the idea of being more concrete. It indicates to the stakeholders what the organization can do for them. A really good mission statement talks equally to every single stakeholder in that organization. Let me say that again. If you've done your mission statement properly, when your customers read that mission statement, they will believe the mission statement has been written for them. When your shareholders read the mission statement, they will believe that the mission statement has been written for them. The same with your employees, the same with the communities you serve, the same with your suppliers. It really is this idea where you speak to those key stakeholders that the organization needs to serve in order to become sustainable. So it has to be relevant to your stakeholders. So when we look at the mission statement, and remember when you do your analysis of your mission statement, these are the questions that you will see if they've actually attended to each of those. If they've not attended to these questions, then say haven't been attended to in your analysis, and then make a comment on that. Sorry, I have put in some examples of mission statements in the slides. You'll see that on the recordings. But the reality is that you will have the actual question, you will have an extract from the question, an extract from the actual mission statement, and then if they've not made any mention of it, you'll just say not applicable, and you'll make a comment after your analysis on that. Then you will write your own mission statement in your attempt to include all of these. I don't know what the word count for this is. How much did they give for that? They didn't give a word count. I don't want war and peace. I want this to be kept simple, right? To the point. There's no drama with that whatsoever. There should be no drama with that, okay? And then the question I think we didn't get to discuss. I know we did discuss it. That was question 3. That was question 3. Did we get to discuss question 3 last week, James? I actually can't remember.
I think we did. I'm not 100% sure though, but I did think we went over it briefly.
Okay. Yeah, Jesse, so you'll see where the second, so you'll see, and I think we'll discuss it once you guys have started attempting that. We'll discuss it when you guys have started attempting that. We've gone 10 minutes over. Any questions from your side? I'll start uploading the recordings, tomorrow. I'm not allowed to upload it in the old way. I have to upload it on the YouTube channel, so you will see a YouTube channel be made available. If you get stuck, obviously, we'll see each other. I will communicate when we see each other again. Are you guys happy with the way we do things? Are you okay with my style, my approach?
Yes.
James, you okay with it?
It's very organized and
organized. Where the last thing in the world that I am is organized.
No. I think you are compared to. No, I mean,
Let me stop recording. Then you can say